Well, something big is about to happen in Ukraine. Either NATO packs its crap up and goes home, gets the hell out of there because the fall of Ukraine is imminent. That's one option. Or the West is moving toward full-scale war with Russia. Let me ask you in the chat right now, those of you watching, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? That NATO is going to say, enough's enough. We've learned our lesson here. This is an absolute mess. We've gotten in way over our heads. We're going to go home. We're going to pick up our basketball and go home. Or they're doubling down and going to go full on head on with Russia. So you let me know in the chat what you think is about to happen. So let's flesh this out because a lot of moving parts over the past 24 hours with a couple of big news items that I want to unpack in a moment. But first, this just happened. So Volodymyr Zelensky in a big address saying that Ukraine needs more weapons and it needs it faster. So we need more weapons and we need it faster. Now, you'll recall in Ramstein, Germany, just a short few days ago, Ukraine had been asking for 300 tanks and armored vehicles. And they're not getting not even a fraction of that. That's what Zelensky wanted, right? The head of the military in Ukraine wanted 300 at least to launch this massive military offensive that's going to push into Crimea and regain the territory. Getting a fraction of that. The U.S. is going to send like 31 Abrams tanks and not even for like many, many months by the time they get there. Poland is sending some janky old Leopard tanks that they bought second rate. Portugal is sending like 4 tanks that haven't been working since the 1970s. It's literally like going through their closet and cleaning crap out and handing it to them. So, but then on the other hand, Zelensky's doubling down and asking for way more weapons and faster. And the United States says, hey, we're ready to do this. We're going to be sending some F-16s. We've got a number of additional weapons and other artillery that we're going to be sending you, and money. Of course, we're going to new tranche of money in addition to different aid. So here's what Zelensky asked for last night.
Ситуація дуже жорстка. Бахмутський, Вугледарський та інші напрямки в Донецькій області – це постійні російські штурми, постійні намагання прорвати нашу оборону.
It's like soothing tones, right? Like you could put that on and fall asleep listening to that, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, you listen
I wouldn't want to hear him narrate a horror movie.
Like your calm Zen music and like you fall asleep. Honey, I'm just going to put my earbuds in. What are you listening to go to sleep? I'm going to listen to some
Just
Zelensky.
close your eyes. Relax.
You're getting very sleepy. I can't even do that. It hurts my throat. So I'm starting to get a sore throat.
Well,
That's
you're
not
done.
helping. I'm done. Oh. Zelensky reads your kids bedtime stories. I just was reading a bedtime story to my little girl, singing like I don't know, it was the Prince and the Pauper or something like that, or the Jack and the Beanstalk, and Jack went up the beanstalk. So anyway,
To ask for more money.
Right? Only 3 beans? You give me just 3 beans? What am I going to do with these beans? So what will NATO do? Will they pack up their shit and get the hell out of there? Grab their basketball and go home? No, doesn't look like it. Because we just got this in, the U.S. Just sending the Apache helicopters, Apache attack helicopters just arrived in Poland. Here they are. They're getting unpacked. We're going over our flight checklist here. We're going to make sure they're all ready to go. So all of our new Apache attack helicopters in Poland ready for launch. Ready for launch, ready to take off. Poland is ordering 100 of these from the United States. Where will they use them, I wonder? What's next door to them that they could use as training ground? I wonder. Ukraine is turning into a really great testing ground for weapons. And an amazing admission yesterday, this blows my mind, from the head of NATO. This is the head of NATO's Strategic Council, Admiral Rob Bauer. Now, he gave an interview to a Portuguese station, RTP. Perhaps he didn't think anyone in the U.S. would hear his words. I happen to understand Portuguese and happen to track this video down, and I'm going to share it with you so that the world can see this. Here he is, and I think he just thought he was talking to a Portuguese, audience. 11 million people in Portugal going to see this U.S. Admiral talking about, strong NATO, and we're ready to fight Russia. Yeah, here you go. So here it is. He now says NATO is ready for direct confrontation with Russia. All the pieces are in place. NATO is ready for direct war with Russia, but must transition to a wartime economy. So, okay, let's unpack this. We're ready for a direct assault, a direct face-to-face with NATO, and we need to now transition to a wartime economy. What does that mean? Modeled on U.S. industrial policy framework like we had in World War II. What he says is, those civilian factories, you know, that you're relying on for your civilian stuff that you civilians need to live your life, what we're going to do is take those civilian factories and we're going to appropriate them for full-time, non-stop military production. Those are his words. Watch.
We are ready to a direct confrontation with Russia.
We are. I think what we have done after the war started was the battle groups along the eastern flank. We had 4 in the north, the 3 Baltic states and Poland, the enhanced forward presence battle groups. We have decided now, the leaders in Madrid have decided to create 4 more battle groups in Slovakia, Hungary, Romania and Bulgaria, and to basically strengthen those battle groups, make them a little bit larger, give them a little bit more support in terms of fire support, and give them better stocks for ammunition and other things. So I think that is an important message for the Russians, that our posture has changed, to show them that we are ready if they would have an idea to come to NATO. And that is the red line. If there is any red line, it is the Russians crossing the line of our territory in NATO.
I believe you said that we are ready to scale up, but that will require some focus. I believe it was your expression. What do you mean by that?
I said that with regard to industrial capacity,
Okay.
the defense capacity. Because I think what we see on both sides is there's high use of ammunition. There's a lot of destruction in terms of vehicles and tanks and aircraft, and there's a lot of things that require to be bought on both sides to continue the fight in material and in ammunition. So the challenge for both sides is that the industries, the defense industries in the West and in Russia, need to ramp up production. And we basically have an economy now that is just in time, just enough. Everything we do in the West in the last 25 years was based on that idea. Having stocks was not smart because it was dead money. But we now see, so if you order a car, they will start the production after you ordered the car. And we're talking now that, hey, I'm using more ammunition than I thought. I need to take from a warehouse ammunition. So you're talking about stocks. You're talking about things that are there, not because you necessarily needed them, but once you need them badly.
Yeah. So these are the people running the world. Like, these are the geniuses that are going to get us all killed. So this guy from the Netherlands is telling us that it's not enough to just have stocks of ammunition. No. And when you deplete it because, you know, you're provoking a war with Russia, you need regular production of armaments to continue this endless war. That's the goal of NATO. We're going to need regular production of this shit.
He also talks as if Russia has already went into NATO land. They've not been anywhere near any NATO-led land because Ukraine's not part of NATO. So what the hell is he talking about?
Again, exactly. And so, but he's saying, you know, basically he's admitting that Ukraine is now a proxy NATO country anyway, right? So that's their red line. Wait a minute. Now the red line is we don't want you attacking NATO countries, but your red line all along has been going into Ukraine and annexing the Donbass. That's been your red line. What the hell is he talking about? Last week, Russia warned that the leaders of NATO have come close to a red line and are deliberately working to escalate the military confrontations in Ukraine. So it's not Russia that's escalating this red line. No, it's NATO that's doing it. Russia Deputy Envoy to the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSEC, warned that Europe and NATO is on a direct path to a full-blown military conflict in Europe, he said, and that it is one that they would definitely stand to lose, meaning NATO. And you hear NATO talking about it. I mean, they're basically saying we don't have the ammunition. We've run out of ammunition. The real story and the reason why Germany won't send more Leopard tanks is because they simply don't have them.